trends are here?
Hey,
Trends here, babe.
pick 'em pop, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot, dog lock, that's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt, send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done, slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pod from MMA takes, yeah, let's get it going.
Woo! What's up with the what's up, babe? I got a special guest, an Ohio-born Arizona transplant. This guy makes his frat money. He's a young man at 24 years old, but goddamn it, he's not young to betting his money. Mitchell Zucker in the building. Get him at ZuckUFC on Twitter. Is that your handle on IG too?
Yeah. Oh no, it's Mitchell Zucker, but all the UFC stuff's on Twitter.
There we go, on Twitter. Yeah, I'm a Twitter boy myself, so welcome, Mitchell. We were gonna do this earlier, and then my mom had to go die, so we had to postpone it. But listen, we got a fucking. I think this is a great card. I think we picked the right card to do it. London, baby. Yeah. I think London's a sick card here. Chat, please let me know if there's any kind of echo. I think I fixed it. But you guys will always let me know. But I'm excited for this card here. Mitchell, kind of tell me, and do you go by Mitchell, Zuck?
I go by Mitch. I go by Zuck. Either way it's fine.
I like Zuck. I like your last name. I like Zucker. I like that. All right. What's up, Jeannie? Day one. Jeannie in here. Stay hot, kid. Steve Blake in the chat. What's up, Steve? Trindaddy. Oh, yeah. See? Trindaddy, that's what I was saying. He's an Ohio dude out in AZ. I love it. All right, Mitch, give us the lay of the land. What are you about, bud? How'd you get started in MMA? And then we'll hop into these fights.
Yeah, so I started watching MMA 2014, 2015. The first fight I ever watched live was Weidman against Silva 2. That's the first fight I ever watched live. After that, the year after, here comes a little man named Conor McGregor. Have a little bit of Irish, have a little Polish in me. Started watching those Cage Warrior fights. Once he debuted, I started watching all of his Cage Warrior fights on YouTube, and then I was a diehard Conor guy forever, and that just drew me in to all of it. I remember going upstairs during a party when I was like 15, 16 in high school and watching that Eddie Alvarez Conor McGregor fight by myself on my iPhone. All my friends were like, UFC what? And then the same guys 2 years later are all watching Khabib Conor with me, and they're all the biggest fans. So I've been on it early, hit some big parlays in college that all my buddies followed back in the day. And then after that, just started making videos every week for the boys, making parlays, and it hasn't stopped. On Saturdays, everybody comes over to my house, whether it's 6 a.m. or 9 p.m. Everybody's over here. They know I'm watching the fights. And that's how it started. I just post my picks for free. I watch you guys on the Anik and Florian. That's how I got onto you. And I'm awesome. I'm stoked to be on, man. It's awesome. I'm really hyped.
That's my guy right there. He's got a very he's much younger than me, 14 years younger than me, but he has a similar kind of path what I did. I started at 15 and then became obsessed. Yours was Conor, mine was BJ Penn. Kind of Rich Franklin too, because Rich Franklin was a teacher of mine, and I love Rich. I supported him in Cincinnati, but really I got hooked on BJ Penn being just an absolute lunatic. Still is a lunatic, unfortunately. Sup, BP, early card this weekend is an early card. My daughter is playing basketball. She has a basketball game at 2 p.m., so it's the prelims start at 1 p.m. So I'll be missing a chunk of them. I'm going to try to watch on my phone, but I'm very excited that my daughter's playing basketball. She's getting better. We got a hoop. Bought a hoop at the house. Got a basketball. She's learning to dribble. Seriously, you know what the problem is, right? It's not the dribbling. She can shoot at practice. She makes the shots. I'm a terrible basketball player. It wasn't in my repertoire. But she can't run. She runs different every time. She can run, but it's like a platypus. It's like her head's up. It's every time she's running up and down the court, it's a different style run. It's the fun. She's 7 years old. It's the funnest thing in the world. Her playing defense, dude, she's fucking locked down, dude. Like you try to score on her, good luck.
The athleticism hasn't caught up to the body.
It has not yet. I was terrible at basketball. My sports were baseball. I was above average, but I tried my ass off. Football, above average, but I didn't have the grades to play in high school. They're like, nah, dude, you're too stupid. And then once I got out of that, once I started doing boxing, that was like my calling. That was boxing, MMA is what what obviously led me to the sport, but also it's like the only sport I've ever done where it kind of came easy to me because I worked my ass off playing baseball and I was just okay. And I'm not doing nearly as much in MMA or boxing, and I'm like really good. So that was my calling. I was here doing this, baby, and I'm excited. First fight of the night. We're getting into it. God damn it! What about 5 minutes in? Not bad, not bad. Guram Kutateladze minus 425 versus Fernandez. This was the pronunciation of the week on the Anakin Florian. He pronounces his last name all weird. It's Fernandez though. He's a plus 320. Listen, this fight screams rat line to me. I do not like Guram this high. I think the guy's a bit of a fraud. I don't know if he's training with Hamzat or not. He has good striking. He knows how to win fights. His wrestling is above average. His takedown defense is above average, but he's not in there a whole lot. There's not a lot of really, there's tape on him, but there's not really like consistent tape on him. He's squeaking by on certain guys, and Coway's a guy who I think is really good at submissions, really good at one area, but I also think he's kind of a wild man. I also think he's really good at certain things. I think he's going to surprise here. I don't have a strong take on the fight, so I'm going to go Kutateladze, even though I just dogged him. But the plus 3.5 on this, the point spread on this fight on DraftKings, let me pull it up for you. It's plus 3.5 for Fernandez, plus 120. Plus 120. We're getting plus money on saying he's going to win a round. I think he's going to win a round. I think that's how you play it. I think he'll give a round here. I think he'll definitely win, maybe even the second or third. I just don't think there's enough on either guy to justify this line. But I'm totally okay with you going out there walking this 3-1 dog. You want that 3-1 dog? You want that dog bone? You want that dog bone? Go get it. Right now, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go Guram Kutateladze just because I think he has a little bit more areas that are a little more refined, and we haven't seen enough of Coway that he could maybe to see how well-rounded he is, I should say. Zuck, what you got, babe?
Yeah, so what I noticed about Fernandez is that in his first fight against Dikase, he was held down, but he wasn't able to do anything. He held him down tight to the ground, wasn't able to get any ground and pound off. Really, I think it was in Brazil, though the whole crowd was booing him the whole fight. And there wasn't really any damage done on the ground. And I think that if Guram gets him down, it's going to be a little bit of the same story. Except that Guram on the feet, I do think he is going to throw more output. But Kai kind of throws those wide looping. It's not a hook. It's not a straight right, but it's like an overhand angle that he just absolutely flatlined Yaya with in the last fight. Guram's creative. His step-in elbow is gross. His Muay Thai is really gross. And he throws that step-in elbow more than the right hand. Like you said, that minus 450 line or 425 line is insane. I agree with you. I think Guram probably ekes it out on the scorecards. And there's some scary moments because he gets caught when he moves his head back to the center line. But I think you're right here. I'm going to go with Guram as well. Nice.
Good breakdown, Zach. And I see that BP, your mic is going kind of robotic noises every once in a while. FYI. Thank you. I'm glad we have no audio issues on the other side. I just plugged my cable in and out on both ends on the thing and not. I heard that from last week too. They said I robot. I have a fucking sound effect where are we at here?
You know, I could start fucking with shit and start sounding like this, you know what I mean? I got the capabilities.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I appreciate the heads up. Sorry for the audio issue. The audio, the audio on the audio side will be cleaned up if you listen audio only. I like that pick. I like that breakdown. I love the plus 3.5 on Fernandez there, but you're right. Guram just has maybe a little bit too much here. We got the chat going. Chris Peak says, next big thing in MMA, the Land Before Time, the Pete Treat. Let's ride. That's right, baby. Land Before Time. Here we go. Longlin, minus 105 versus Nathan Fletcher, minus 115. Got to pick him here. Got some boys. We got Ireland versus England. Nathan Fletcher, I believe, is coming off the Ultimate Fighter, if memory serves. And Longlin has just absolutely looked very sussy, as my daughters, they've been saying it all day, so it stuck in my head. He came in very touted, very highly motivated, brash Irishman, a la Conor McGregor-esque, and he hasn't delivered. He's got a good chin, but he won't exchange. His striking's there. It almost like he saves his cardio, but he doesn't seem like he has cardio problems. He tries to wrestle, but the wrestling's not really there. At least people's been able to shut it down. Nathan Fletcher, though, young kid, And I'm trying to remember. Here we go. Yeah, so he fought in the UFC, and he had an arm triangle choke in the UFC. He landed 4 takedowns in that fight.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pick 'em for a reason. I understand it. I'm going to go Longlin. I'm going to go Longlin one last time here. I've been riding this guy. I thought this guy was something. Then he kind of fizzled on me. I'm going with Longlin here. If he burns me here, the Irishman's dead to me. Dead. He's in the graveyard. He's done. But I'm going to take him here, and I'll probably bet him because I usually like to bet the pick'ems, and I think he could outpoint Fletcher here. I think this will go to decision. So I like Longlin. I like the over. I like Longlin by decision. Zuck, what do you got, bub?
We're 2 fights in and we're already going against each other because I got my next gen MMA guy. I got Nathan Fletcher. I can't take a guy in Longlin who, one, has maybe got his neck and head fused together. I'm not really 100% sure, but he is a Minecraft character.
Yeah.
And he just lost against Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley was on like a week and a half notice.
Yeah.
I can't take you after you lost Jake Hadley when we got a guy in Nathan Fletcher coming from Next Gen MMA. Training with Patty. Patty's on the rise. He was in the Ultimate Fighter, and he got outpaced by Con Alfley, I think, in round 1. And then round 2 was closer, but obviously they don't have a round 3. If it goes to the judges and they have it 2-0. I'm going to go Nathan Fletcher. I think you're right. I think it goes to a decision. But they fought an amateur, and I watched it. I went back, found it on YouTube.
This guy.
And Nathan Fletcher had him in a full triangle, had his leg, had the armbar over, and like I said, Longlin just pulled his neck out. I think Nathan Fletcher has gotten better since then. Obviously, they were like 18, 19, or I think 21 maybe. But anyway, I think he's going to get it done. I think he's going to win the takedown exchanges. I think he's going to have him up against the fence, and I think his striking is more unique and not as stiff. I'm also going to play that one.
I love it. I love that. I love that we're going against each other, Bob. I respect the shit out of that. And yeah, Longlin will win by decision plus 200. I will be playing that for sure. But listen, Nate, you saw the amateur fight, which I didn't see. This guy Mitchell Zucker, man, he's digging deep. Listen, I love that. I love that we're oppo there. And yeah, that's great. Our next fight. So I said this last week. I'm gonna label a fight, and I'm gonna play my favorite soundbite. When a fight that stinks. I think this is a fight that stinks. I'm sorry that it's another women's MMA fight. Trust me, there's another women's MMA fight on here I don't think stinks. This one stinks, okay? So we got Shauna Bannon, minus 162 versus Pooja Tomar, plus 136.
Bring her in here, stinking up the joint. Come on.
Come on. This stinking up the joint. Quick and short here. Tomar, they're doing Shauna Bannon a favor. She's hot. She shows her ass on Instagram. She's a cutie. She's pretty. She goes out there. She's an okay striker. She's an okay athlete. That's about it. She's just okay. Tomar's a little rough and tumble. I think she's not as big of an athlete as Bannon, and I think she's just a scrapper in there. She landed 95 strikes in her debut, which is commendable. She likes to strike. She likes to throw down. This is a matchup that they want Bannon to win. Over here, I know it's not her home. It's not her home country per se, but it's close enough. They want Bannon to win. She'll get the crowd. And again, you know, she's the pretty girl. So marketable. We're looking at Paige Van Zandt maybe all over again. An Irish Paige Van Zandt. Give me Shauna Bannon by decision, but this fight absolutely stinks. Zuck, what you got, bub?
I think the over is like minus 525
Crazy.
for it to go over. Insane. But they both, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, instead of flicking jabs at each other, we see two girls hitting side kicks at the same time, jabbing to the body with side kicks. And Shauna Bannon, she throws those 1-2 kind of Whitaker rushes at you. And I think she's gonna try to take Punja down here. I think that Punja got subbed like 3 times in one championship. I went back and watched some of those. Her ground game's not great. I'm not going to say Shauna Bannon's ground game's good. I'm not going to say that her takedowns are elite. I'm not going to say that her punches are fast. Like you said, this fight stinks. But I agree with you. I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon, but I would not be surprised if this fight is so boring that Punjab knocks Bannon's head back a few more times, and they're not going to – these judges haven't been looking at control. They've been looking at more damage recently, and I wouldn't be surprised if her head gets knocked back a few more times and she wins another close decision. I'm going to go with Shauna Bannon also.
Love the breakdown. We got another complaint about my audio. possibly going silent. BBG audio is going silent here and there for me. Not sure it's happening to anybody. I'm having all sorts of audio issues on my end. Zuck sounds great. Again, if you're watching this live, I appreciate that. The audio on the end, I'm recording it directly to my thing. The audio on the other end on, whatchamacallit, audio in 1 second, out 5 seconds on repeat. God dang, what the shit? I don't even know how to fix that, man. I don't even know how to fix it. Yeah, like you and I are coming in clean here, and it's like, this is just, it's just effing me. Effing me in the egg. Can't get it right. Can't get it right, boys. Unbelievable. I don't know how to fix that, boys. I apologize, but all right. So we're gonna keep moving on. I can't get distracted by that. I'm sorry that my audio is coming in and out again. I will repost the. Maybe I'll edit this, record it, re-download it, whatever. We'll see with the clean audio. Anyway, we'll go up. We're going next. CLD Christian Leroy Duncan minus 550. Yikes. Versus Andrei Pulyaev, whatever, Russian dude, plus 410. Andre came on the Contender Series, landed a lot of strikes, looked pretty good, failed on some takedowns. This number's crazy to me. CLD's coming off a exit out, go back in, Chris Peak. Maybe he's not on me. Anyway, CLD's coming off an ugly loss to Greg Rodriguez, RoboCop. RoboCop's good, right? But CLD looked scared. He looked frightened. It just wasn't a great performance for a guy who is a striker, who's an up-and-coming guy. Maybe that was his lesson. Maybe that's a lesson he needed to learn there. He's not high volume. He's got a weird karate stance. But, I like him in this spot here. 550, I think, is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can't play him at 550. How I'm going to play this? Could you go finish? You got a tough Russian in there, maybe. Russian dudes don't get finished all that often. A lot of them are on that Russian gas. Not saying he is, allegedly, but a lot of them are on that gas. So I like Duncan. It's actually gotten bigger as well. Trindade with the most updated line, minus 575. I still think it's egregious. I'm saying that as I'm picking him. This is going to be a pass for me. I like CLD, but I don't like what he did last time out. I thought he looked very average. He's a growing fighter, though. He's green. He's going to learn. He's going to get it better. He's going to improve and all that shit. I like him, but give me him over the Russian. I know he's got the big crowd. A lot of people like him in that country. A lot of those European dudes are singing the praises before he got the UFC. And even after his misstep of RoboCop, they're like, just wait. This guy's it. So we're going to find out. Give me CLD. Zuck, what do you got? You going underdog here, bud? You taking the big dog?
I mean, I watched that Liam Anderson, that Contender Series fight that Andrei Pulyaev had. He looked good. I'm not going to lie. He looked good. For 4 years. He's coming off the loss to G-Rod, but G-Rod's good. I mean, G-Rod almost knocked out Jared Cannonier and then got tired and obviously got starched. But I'm gonna go CLD here. I can't take a guy coming off the Contender. I saw a regional scene fight of him just crumpling to a kickboxer. CLD is going to try to set up elbows. He's going to hold him against the clinch, land a bunch of knees, land a bunch of clinch elbows. And I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a little disappointing. And it's going to be I think Andre actually wins the round, though. I think he might put out more output and CLD doesn't get him up against the fence. I think this could be another 3.5 spot. I don't know what that line's sitting at right now, but I've been really liking my point spreads.
Yep.
And I think that Pulyaev,
yep.
Who knows?
How do you say it? I can't pronounce it.
To get around.
So 3.5.
I'm going to go CLD.
3.5 on the Russian is plus 200. So I like what you're putting down. That might be a play for me there. He could definitely still round. CLD, I don't really think has right now. He hasn't really proven to have elite 3-round cardio. The Russian did land almost 100 strikes in his Contender Series debut against an inferior opponent. But, CLD's, I think the most he's landed in the UFC is maybe 66 strikes. And a lot of those might have been kicks or whatever they count, which,
Yeah.
So point spread might be also, money there, though, bub.
I don't rate Claudio Ribeiro or Tuluyan or his wins that highly.
No.
I mean, he lost against Armin Petrosian in 3 rounds. That was pretty clear, too.
And
I can definitely see him winning a round and throwing low output and just having a few bigger moments.
And Petrosian just got cut, too. So, I mean,
Did he?
Yeah, I think he just got released. All right, next up, we get the big boys, Machine Tybura, minus 112 versus Parkin, minus 108. We got the big English heavyweight that everyone loves. You know, he's not Tom Aspinall, even though he has trained. Don't know if he currently trains with Tom Aspinall, but he definitely has trained with Tom Aspinall in the past. These heavyweights, you know, good ones come far in between. Tybura's been in the game for a long time. I've seen some people out there that I respect in this game, that I like in this game, that are very confident in Tybura, and I respect the fuck out of that. I'm just going the opposite way. I'm going to go Mick Parkin here. I think Mick Parkin can really dictate things with his pressure, and then if he gets on top, it's a problem. If Tybura gets on top, it's a problem, obviously. Both these guys don't do so well off their back. That's kind of the typical heavyweight. We're not talking about Frank Mir here. We're not talking about, you know, Fabricio Werdum. We're talking about some big boys here that aren't going to be able to really throw many things off their back. However, I think Mick Parkin is a little bit more athletic. I think he's kind of a bulldozer when he is coming forward. It's just a matter of when will he do that. I think he needs to put the foot on the gas. Tybura's been finished before. It's been a while, though. He's an elite dude. He's fought fucking everybody in there. Has some really good wins, has some losses. Experience, obviously, on Tybura's side. I can see why everyone is loading up on Tybura. I bet you a lot of people wish that was plus money right now. And right now, some books have it at plus money, at plus 105. I think that's a smart play. I'm not smart, okay? I'm a Cincinnati State graduate. Go Surges. That's their nickname, the Surges, right? Could come up with something better. So I'm not smart. So I'm doing Mick Parkin minus 125. That's a fight I'll probably bet. I like the over. I'm not sure it's going to get finished, but if it will get finished, it's when Mick takes him down, which I hope he can do in the first round. If he can take Tybura down in the first round, I will be betting more heavily, live spot betting on Mick Parkin, because I think we'll be able to take him down for second round and third round and possibly get a finish. I like Mick Parkin, but I don't know if I love the finish, but I like Mick Parkin. Zuck, what you got, bub?
You might like Mick Parkin, but I love Mick Parkin. My mom used to call me Mick. Mick is the man. I can't not go with Mick. Tybura gets takedowns when somebody throws a big 1-2 unathletic guy and falls into his lap. He's going to fall into your lap and he's going to drag him down. You're telling me that he can't last a few rounds with Tybura when he's training with Tommy Aspinall and all those big boys over in that gym? Like, Tom Aspinall, you got that guy laying on you every day in the gym, and you're going to get Tybura does well against Tai Tuivasa, Romanov, Bogoyim Imavov, or whatever it is.
Sure.
Cannot take him there. I love Mick Parkin. It's one of my favorite bets on the card. I think he finishes Tybura. I just hope that he doesn't throw any big kicks. I think that would be the downfall of him, is throwing a big body kick or something like that and getting rushed and taken down. I don't also see Tybura passing into Mount and finishing him. I like Mick Parkin. I like him big here. It's one of my favorite bets on the card. I'm going to go big on Mick Parkin.
Ooh, I love the confidence right there. That's the confidence I like, because I wasn't confident. But I'm going to ride your wave of confidence. I mean, I like Mick, but you love him. And I like that. I love that you love him. Yeah, that's a good read there. I mean, I do. A lot of people like...
I love that you love it. I love it.
I love that you love it. A lot of people like Tybura, and I get it. I get you're playing the number, you're playing the guy that's been in there forever. But I think Mick Parkin, who he trains with, what he represents, what he has shown is impressive here. Chris Peak says Surge is a Mountain of Dew. Surge, everyone knows I'm a big Mountain Dew guy. Surge, I used to hammer that at this Chinese place over right up the street from me when I was a kid. South China Sea was a Chinese place. Unreal. And they had cans. They didn't have soda machines, and I would just get a Surge. 90s, baby. Dude. PSA, Rampage Punch Nation, Listen to MMA, pod ass, and all. Oh, man, let's go. And another fight that you love, Parkin. I love Kavanagh in this next fight here. Minus 298. Leonard Kavanagh versus Felipe Dos Santos, plus 240. Dos Santos kind of set the world on fire when he came in, and he looked so fucking good against Manel Kape. Landing big strikes, and it was competitive, and Manel Kape's a fucking stud, and he took up Manel Kape's best shots, and everyone was like, this dude's the fucking man. Since then, he's laid some duds. He hasn't looked as good as he did in that loss. And Kavanagh's this young up-and-coming kid, good striker, eyes on him. I thought he was going to make the main card here, but it's a pretty slack card, so they're putting him right here in the prelims. I think if I'm doing my math, this might be one of the fights I miss where my daughter's running up and down the court, lockdown D at her basketball game. So this might be one. Lockdown D, bro. She just hands up. Yeah, smack. Kavanagh. I like Kavanagh big here. I think 290, 298 is what he is right here. Trent's got it right here. It's minus 290. Yeah, I think it's a steep bet, whatever. I think Dos Santos is a fraud. I think he's been proven to be a fraud. Give me Kavanagh. I like his striking. I like his technique. I like his game. I like that he's in the home country here. This guy almost made the slime ball parlay. I opted for another fighter, but this guy almost made it. But this will be a must bet for me. I'm still trying to figure out how he gets done. Maybe by knockout, but Dos Santos seems to be pretty durable. But Kavanagh for sure. Could be a mortal lock on anybody's card. Wouldn't fault them at all. Could be a mortal lock on mine, depending how it shakes out the locks at the end. But yeah, I like Kavanagh here all day. Zuck, what do you got, bub?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. My favorite thing to bet is Contender Series in all of UFC. I think the lines here are crazy. I got Kavanagh plus money on that, and that was my biggest straight bet I've ever placed in any fight, and it was on it because I saw that one slip, two slip, 1-2 from Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
That was just so gross. He fought an MMA lab guy who's out here in Peoria, but I love Kavanagh here, man. I agree with you. In that cop fight, he took some big shots and he was able to stand in the pocket and catch Cop while he was throwing those amazing combos that Cop does throw. But I don't think Kavanagh was going to take him down, but I thought he lost that Altamirano fight in Mexico City. I thought he for sure lost that. I thought he had a little flurry in the second that could have won him that round. And I thought he won the third round, but I thought he lost 1 and 2. I love Kavanagh here. I don't know if he gets the finish because he's fighting back-to-back Felipe Lima guys, I think, which is interesting. But I think he gets it done. I think he might have it done on the scorecards. Felipe is tough, but I love Kavanagh too.
Yeah.
You could throw him in a parlay and not even worry about it.
Yeah, and he's a low number. Huh?
So knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah. Listen, he's I think could be a lot. I mean, listen, I think if I could flip a line or whatever, I think Kavanagh might be the minus 550 instead of Duncan. I think that's what we're looking at here. Minus 290 is a chunky favorite, but that's a good parlay piece. That's an anchor in there, depending what you want to risk. If you're a parlay player, I'm a straight wager. I had a really good week last week. My bankroll it's getting kind of fat right now. We're okay. So I might just bet it straight up and say, fuck it. I'll take the $100 win. Or I'll take the $90 win, whatever it is. Fuck it. Who cares? I'll take it. Cause I'm it's almost a guaranteed win for me at this point. All right. Next up, Jai Herbert minus 110 versus Chris Padilla. Another minus 110. Kind of weird line here. Cause Padilla got brought in late minute versus Yamis Lontop. And people, yes, I know it looks like James, but he pronounces his name Hamas. I don't know why, but he's from Argentina. Listen, that dude's nails, right? And Padilla was a huge underdog, goes out there and finishes on top by submission. Then he knocks out Rongju. Rongju looked great against Cody Steele, who flatlined me earlier this year with that $3,000 bet, right? Padilla's nails. Padilla's good. I believe he's an Arizona guy, if I'm not mistaken. I think he trains out in your way. And this guy came in the UFC a little disrespected, and now he's getting some respect. Yes, he's fighting a hometown guy in Jai Herbert. He's a good long striker, had some good performances. He dropped Topuria when Topuria hopped up at 55. He's looked good in spots, but cardio durability has been an issue. Padilla can crack, might not be the cleanest in the world. His striking is not super tight, but he can crack. He's durable as well. He's got a good chin, and he's well-rounded. I like Padilla here a lot. Not a parlay piece for me, but minus 110, again, another low number that I love betting. I think Padilla is going to get it done. I think Jai Herbert is, again, going to have the crowd. People like this dude. Trains with some really good fighters, well-respected, been around for a while, does have some good striking. But, give me Padilla, Chris Padilla. What we got here, bub?
You thinking inside the distance? What are you thinking? Hey, I want a little bit more from you.
Let me see. Yeah, so listen. Padilla by knockouts plus 360, plus 350, excuse me. Padilla, Jai Herbert has been knocked out before. His chin isn't great. Submission is plus 450. If it was gun to my head, I'd say knockout, but I might do the little double chance. I might, you know what I mean? I might dance with the devil a little bit, play both sides of the coin, get a lesser number, but get a finished prop. But I think he can finish Jai Herbert for sure. I think he maybe can finish him late too. I've seen Jai Herbert fall off cliffs with his cardio before. So we'll see. Padilla is a surprising one. I didn't think he'd be anything. I looked at tape. I picked Lontop in that fight. I didn't think I picked Rongju because I've never picked Rongju, but I definitely picked Lontop, and Padilla just went out there and starched him, which was very impressive. So, So we got here, though. What do you think? What do you think there, big dog?
I can't believe this line is even. I think the only reason why it is even is it's because it's at the in London. That elbow couldn't have landed more in the eye socket. I think it closed the eye up in maybe 2 seconds. I thought he looked great against Thomas Lantap, but I agree with you here, man. I think his front kicks keep Jai away. I think Jai can't get his boxing going. I mean, when he does get his boxing going, don't get me wrong, Jai Herbert's footwork and boxing off angles is incredibly good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna keep him straight at boxing range and not try to make it a little bit dirtier, get him up against the fence a little bit, make him worried about other stuff. The worst we've ever seen him. I mean, that KO against Ilya Topuria. People say, yeah, he caught Ilya. I don't care. He didn't knock him out, and then he got absolutely starched that liver shot to the right hook.
Yeah,
I think he does really bad up against the fence, and I think that Padilla is gonna Taco, right? His nickname is Taco.
Taco.
I think
yeah.
he's gonna fold him like a taco. He's gonna get a nice crushed taco and take a bite out of him, and he's gonna knock out Jai Herbert.
Knockout.
In the O2.
Love it. He's predicting knockout. The double chance I was saying earlier, Trent pulled it up for me. Chris Padilla won by KO or submission. Plus 200, giving me plus money for a double chance there. I'll take it. Yeah, I think we're on Padilla here. I think we're two smart fucking dudes, right? Couple dudes in our 20s, just smart.
You know, just some young guys.
Yeah, just a couple young bucks.
Hey, if I were to guess, maybe it's not coming across on camera, but I was carded to get a golf cart a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
you got to be 16 to get a golf cart.
Oh,
people
man.
always say, "Oh,
you look young." Yeah, you look. I get that all the time. I mean, I get carded for booze still. I don't buy booze often, but the last time I did, I think maybe it was I bought a gift for somebody and I got carded. And I'm thinking, I think I was like 37, 36 at the time. So I'll take it. I'll take the compliment. Next up, Nathaniel Wood plus 142 versus Morgan Charier minus 170. Love this fight. Love this fight because a lot of people think everyone's sleeping on Nathaniel Wood. On the Anakin Florian, Jason Anna put 1K on Morgan Charier. Kenny Florian put 300 on him. I picked him as well. Not only did I pick him, but sliming him up. He's slimed forever. That's my first leg of the slime ball parlay is Morgan Charier. I think this dude is really good, right? And I think his problems early in his career were lack of urgency and then just afraid of the takedown. His takedown defense is really good. He's got a good judo background. Nathaniel Wood coming up to 145 scared me, but he's looked pretty good. He's been put down before. He's been put out once by John Dodson, but he has been put down before and has recovered. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's got really good boxing. His kicking is really coming along, especially the low kicks. I think Charier is going to be too big, too athletic, and powerful here. I like Charier, and I also like the green hammer, baby. We're going to throw out a green hammer. Let's see if I got that. Shaboom is going to cover my face. Yeah, green hammer time, bitch. Green hammer. And I like plus money now. I'm hot. I had a good weekend. The green hammer is 5-5. So we're giving you a juicy green hammer. It's plus 350. And that's Morgan Charier, the Frenchman, to knock out Nathaniel Wood. I know a lot of people I love, like the plus money in Nathaniel Wood. And I see the value on that 100%. I'm a value boy at the heart. I just like Charier here, man. I think he's a real deal. I think he's interesting. I think he's marketable as well. He's a good looking guy. He's ripped up, colors his hair different, right? I think he speaks English as well. And he's an exciting fighter. He can't put people out. This is a little bit of a step up for him. He did lose to Chepe Maniscalco. It was a very close fight. Chepe's a fucking beast in there. Other than that, though, outside the UFC, he has fought everybody. And I just think he's a true 45er with some really special gifts. And Nathaniel Wood is phenomenal. I think he's very, very good. I just think this is going to be a bad night for him. If he get through those first 2 rounds, though, I will be a little nervous because Charier tends to lose really close fights. If you look at any of his fights on his record, split decision losses. The Chepe Maniscalco fight, a lot of people thought maybe he should have won. So I'll start being a little worried, but that's my first leg of the slime ball, and it's my green hammer by knockout, plus 350. Zuck, what you got, Bob?
We're lined again.
Nice.
But I will say, if it stays at boxing range, and Charier is patient, and his patience in the octagon does good things for him. But if he can't counter Nathaniel Wood, if he's missing his counters, if Nathaniel Wood comes in really slick, he's going to have a problem. Because just like they fight at the same camp, I believe, Kavanagh and Nathaniel Wood. They are slick. He is some pretty striking. And he got knocked out, I think. Then he went up from 35 to 45. Weight cut was too much for him. I agree with you. I think Charier is going to be the much bigger man here. I think he's going to bully him. But I do think that if it's staying at kickboxing range, and Charier doesn't make it a little dirtier, that it might get away from him in a round or two. But I agree with you. I like Charier. I like your green hammer. But I'm just going to go straight Charier here.
Yeah.
I think you could play him in a parlay as well.
For sure.
I think great spot. And I just think he out-bullies, and Nathaniel Wood is going to get caught, I think, at least once in this fight. It's just whether he's going to recover or not. He typically recovers. In that 9-round fight, he got caught bad, and then he caught him in that same first round. So I think Charier, if he catches him and could finish him quick. But if not, I would get a little scared in that deeper second, late third, mid-third, where Wood's putting things together. But I'm going to go with you too, Charier.
Nice.
Charier.
Whatever Kenny was saying. Charier. I didn't know what he was saying. Yeah, look, there's another mini green hammer that I love that I think is absolutely bananas. It's later in this card, a couple fights from now. The plus money is absurd, right? And I couldn't believe it. So I'm gonna baby green hammer that, but this one's gonna be the big green hammer. Go ahead.
Also, I will say I did not watch the Anakin Florian this week.
Okay.
I didn't know that Kenny did that. I wanted to stay away. I didn't want to hear any of your picks. I didn't
Smart
want to get
man.
Any influence. I don't want to get any influence from anybody. Usually I'll watch like the MMA group because I think he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't watch anything this week. I said I got to have my own mind, got to have my own thoughts.
I love it.
So I didn't watch that. That's funny that he did that too, though.
He did it, yeah. When he was doing places bets, he went, Charier. And I was like, well, who the fuck is that? I obviously keep track of everything. I was like, who the fuck's he saying? All right, next up, Jordan Vucenic, minus 360 versus Chris Duncan, plus 285. I got quite a few Scottish fans in the DMs. Old Scottish. I believe I'm Scottish. Don't really know. I'm kind of a mutt, but I like to believe I'm Scottish because the Scottish people seem like fucking dope people. But they got their guy Chris Duncan in here against a guy who I think is pretty good. Jordan Vucenic, this guy, he's been primed to come to the UFC for a long time. Marketable, got tied up, got all that, has split fights with Paul Hughes, who's over there in the PFL doing his things, an elite guy. And Vucenic is good. The one thing that pauses me is Kenny Florian is great at a lot of things, and he's really good at identifying people's jiu-jitsu. And he doesn't really love Vucenic's jiu-jitsu as much as I do. I thought Jordan's jiu-jitsu was very good. I think on top, he's a problem. He's got a lot of different kind of submissions. And I thought that's how he's going to get the fight done here. Chris Duncan is working on his takedowns himself. He's actually going out there and landing takedowns in fights. I think that's going to be a problem here. I think Vucenic is actually working on his takedowns. He lost his UFC debut. Very close fight against Guram Kutateladze. He dropped Guram. And it was a very close fight. He just kind of fell behind later in that fight, lost the fight, just within the rounds. UFC debut going to happen. I think he's going to rebound well here. I like him here. This could be a parlay piece for me as well. A little too high of the number. I want to give juicy parlays out there from now on. But I like Vucenic here. I like Vucenic big. I think he's going to get a submission, which I'm going to chase that prop while you give me your breakdown here, bud. Who do you like?
I have it at plus 180 right now.
Plus 180 for submission? Okay. I'll take that.
I was loving the same thing. I mean, Manuel Torres jumped Chris Duncan's back in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, quick.
I will say Chris Duncan, second Chris Duncan on the card, just noticed that.
Yeah.
But he held down Morales in his last fight for 3 rounds. Or actually, I think he choked out Oki in the weirdest sub ever, where he had the 2 arms in, then he lost the arm, then he had 1 arm, and he went to punch him, but he was out.
Yeah.
And no one even noticed. It was a weird one. But I think you're right. I think that Guram fight was so close. If Guram didn't kick off the fence there and Jordan finished that reversal, I think he might have won the rest of that round.
Sure.
So, and that was on like 3.5, maybe 2.5 weeks notice. So I love Vucenic here. I love him by sub. Also, I have it written in big letters right here. But it kind of scares me because Kenny Florian is like the guy that I
he's the jiu-jitsu. He loves jiu-jitsu, yeah.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I like Vucenic a lot here. I think he dominates him. I think he subs him in round 2.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's got he comes from a good organization, comes from a good camp, and his striking's getting better. That was his early knock. Was he was just he was just searching for takedowns, desperate for takedowns, and you get him a lot of times. His wrestling's obviously improving, but his striking's improving, which makes him a little more free flowy to not really rush takedowns. And he's going to open the striking up, which then they're defending that. Then you can get the legs, get a takedown. I like him here. Chris Duncan's a banger. Again, he's working on everything, but I like Vucenic. I like him by submission as well. That could be a green hammer as well. A lot of green hammer I see on this card. All right, so we got a couple females, which is not the stinky fight of the card. This fight's good. Molly McCann plus 164 versus Alexia Thainara minus 198. Thainara, I was very impressed with her on the Contender Series. She landed over 100 strikes. She has got some submissions outside the UFC. When you look at Brazil women, though, it's even Brazilian men. You look at the record, you got to really dig deep and see who they're fighting because they're typically fighting nobodies. And her record is pretty thin, but she seems well-skilled, well-versed, and she's got the one thing that is unfortunate for Molly McCann is she's got the kryptonite, take her to the ground, submit her, and that's what Molly's big hiccup is. Molly doesn't need to win for the crowd to love her. She's going to have the crowd on her side. She's a passionate woman. She's a fighter's fighter. I love watching her fight. I love Meatball. I wish I could find a way to bet Meatball in this spot. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think this is a tough matchup for her. I like Thainara here, probably by submission if we're going to get into the weeds of it, which I probably will. But I like Thainara minus 198. I think she's going to take Molly down. And she's actually climbed up a little bit. She's minus 205 right now currently. Give me Thainara, unfortunately. Sorry, Meatball. I love you. But I'm going with the Brazilian.
Well, usually I would listen to you say that, and I'd be like, maybe VP's right.
Ooh.
But not this week. Like I said earlier, these fighters that are coming off the Contender Series with these, 8 Brazilian fighters, I dug into that record. Like you said, you have to look at it. They're fighting in malls against people that are tapping the strikes in round 1. And I know she fights out of Amanda Ribas's camp. She fights like Amanda. She just runs into things. She doesn't care if she gets hit. She's going to just throw aggressively. But as you said, Molly, since those 2 dominations, Julia Starienko and Erin Blanchfield, those were sad. I hated watching Molly rise off those back-to-back spinning fights, getting those contracts with Barstool and everything, and then just absolutely just getting destroyed. But I think that she's going to inch this out on the scorecards. Wow. Obviously, she'll have the crowd behind her. I think she's going to have the crowd behind her. I think that Thainara is good. I think she is good, and she's aggressive. But I think Molly, if she doesn't get taken down, let me put that way also.
Sure.
She has been in Polaris Jiu-Jitsu, and threw back two arm bars after that. And she's gotten better. She got hurt by the Fighting Nerds, Bruna Brazil, into the body. Then she fought through that. I think Molly puts together combos here. I think she pushes Thainara back. I hope that she doesn't get taken down and put into a crucifix and elbowed to death because it's so sad. Molly's such a nice lady. Yeah. You can tell in her interviews she's such a sweetheart. I hope that she's been training and just doesn't get taken down. I love Molly here. I love her as my dog. We need the dogs. You don't need cats.
You need the dogs, baby. I love that. And Cholo MMA says, be claiming I know Chick's title again. I need the title back, babe, because no one knows Chicks like BP. I know Chicks, man. I root for Molly. Listen, if Molly can stuff the takedown, she's definitely live in this spot. She can win the fight. I mean, her spinning back fist KO is one of the goated knockouts in women's MMA. It's phenomenal. Look, Kieran loves fucking Meatball Molly.
It's
a nice number. Yeah,
at that number.
This guy, Kieran, though, my life is on Molly. This guy's a day one guy here. Once again. Listen, he was all in the last time, Molly, and he's all in the last time. I love that. Listen, it's easy to hop off when someone loses. This dude's riding with you even after some losses, some ugly ones. I respect the fuck out of that. But yeah, I like Thainara on that one. All right, Kevin Holland, Big Mouth, plus 120 versus Gunny Nelson, minus 142. So we got the most active guy in the UFC versus the most non-active guy in the UFC. Gunnar Nelson's like, yeah, I might retire. I don't need the fight. I just love doing it, right? They just call this guy, and he has a beautiful life in Iceland, and he just, I'll come fight, right? He's always kind of training, always doing his thing. He's not a real 170. The guy is not very big, but he doesn't cut weight. he really could be at 55, but he's coming in against Kevin Holland, who's back to 70 after getting bully balled up at 185. Listen, I understand Kevin Holland anytime, anywhere, any place. I don't know who his manager is, but I really wish they would be a little more selective on these fights. He'll get a stand-up fight with MVP. He closely loses that. Then he goes against Kutateladze. He gets destroyed on the ground. He goes against René de Ridder, gets destroyed on the ground. Now you got another ground guy here. Yeah, he's smaller. He's not as big as those guys, but when Gunny's on top, he's heavy. He's flowy, right? He can beat you up, but he also is always hunting for submissions. He's very, very good on top. Like, the only time I've seen anyone really out jiu-jitsu Gunny was Damian Maia, and Damian Maia is world class. Gunny Nelson's a legit dude here. I like Gunny. I like him by submission as well. Not the most popular pick. I think everyone's going to ride with that. I think everyone has the same take. But it's just what I feel in my bones. I think Kevin Holland needs to keep this fight on the feet. He could easily knock out Gunny. Gunny's been put down before. And he kind of has that weird karate stance where he does leave himself open a little bit. He hasn't been in there a while. Striking is all about timing. You got to be in there. So Kevin's got to come out hot, flying knee, kick to the body, hurt him, stun him, do something. But he goes to the ground. Gunny Nelson, heavy top pressure, maybe submission. I like Gunny here. Minus 142 is a good low number as well. He's currently minus 130, so money is coming in on Kevin Holland. Give me Gunny Nelson. What do you got, Zuck?
I hate Kevin Holland so much. He lost me so much money. He's lost me. I was at my first ever UFC event was UFC Noche, the first one.
Okay.
And I know you love your three-name Jack, and I love him too. So I thought I was a genius, and I put pretty much all the money I brought
close
to
fight.
Kevin Holland. I said, I'm going to put it on Kevin Holland. I'm going to win this decision. I thought I won the decision live. Also, a little influence. Obviously, I couldn't hear the strikes. The crowd was cheering for Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm never doing it ever again. I don't even know if he broke Olajayshek's arm in that fight. I think that it hyperextended and popped right back in because I think Olajayshek fought 8 weeks later.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. Does Gunnar Nelson, did he get surgeries?
I don't know. He's been out for almost 2 years. I think 2023 was his last time. Before that, he didn't fight until 2021, then once in 2019. He just kind of goes away. That's kind of his thing. He was active for a little bit where he was actually training with Conor McGregor, and they asked him this week. He's like, dude, I haven't seen Conor in years. He just kind of escapes and goes away. I mean, he's in his late 30s now. The title's out the window. I think he's just fighting for money. He doesn't really do grappling tournaments anymore like he used to, before he entered the UFC. So yeah, interesting life. Probably has some kids. He's got a lot of money, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, but he could have been hurt. I don't know the answer to your question.
Yeah, I'm going to take Gunnar Nelson here. But I'm not going to put any money on this fight. I just hope Gunnar Nelson chokes him out in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I hope the way that I see Kevin Holland winning is in round one with a straight right. I don't see him landing hooks. He knocked out Ponzinibbio with a hook, but Ponzinibbio, I love Ponzinibbio. Don't get me wrong. I love the Ponzi scheme. But he's 37 years old. Right. Or 38 years old, maybe even older. And then before that, Michael Chiesa. Okay, Darce choke. And then before that, a loss. And then before that, I think he beat another 2 mid-level UFC guys. And then he had that crazy streak. And then he lost to Ron Winston. And I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I love Big Mouth. I used to love Big Mouth. On that fight run, everyone loved him. Yeah. But I just can't do it anymore. And I know Gunnar Nelson fights once in a millennium, but ring rust, whatever. Who cares? Come in, take him down, choke him out. Yeah. Gunnar Nelson.
Gunny. Yep, we're both on Gunny. Yeah, KZ MMA says Holland stopped Chiesa. That was the most impressive win by Holland because Chiesa is the guy that takes you down, the flows on top. That's very heavy. He choked him out. Kevin Holland does have good submissions. I don't think he's sniffing a submission over Gunnar Nelson, if I'm being honest with you. I think if it goes to the ground, Gunny's going to dominate as well. Kevin can use his size, his length, all that stuff, but it has to play in the feet if Kevin Holland's going to win here. And he's had 20 fights since 2020, which is crazy. A lot of money to show up. Yeah, he's got so much money. I didn't like when he went on Rampage's podcast and was like, you're a bitch or whatever. It's like, Kevin, what are you doing? Why are you picking fights with OGs? You know what I mean? Why are you picking fights with OGs? That was silly to me. Kevin is an interesting cat. Yeah, 25%. Yeah, right. I don't know what it is. I still don't. I don't know. All right, coming event, Jan Blachowicz, however you pronounce it. I say Blachowicz. Plus 200 versus Carlos Oberg, minus 245. Hot take on this one. Hot take. I love city kickboxing. I love what Eugene Berryman does with these guys. Carlos Oberg is phenomenally athletic, good striking, work in progress still, right? We've seen the hiccup in the UFC where he completely gassed out in cardio issues. He's fixed that. His striking's good. His power's good. But Blachowicz, even though he's 42, his last time out against Poatan, and Poatan landed 70 strikes and then put this guy down. This dude's got a fucking chin, Blachowicz does. He talks about the Polish power. Yeah, the Polish chin is what we need to talk about, right? Because it's phenomenal. Coming off surgery, which I think he had double shoulder surgery, which sounds like he's been dealing with that for a while. And he had a draw with the current champ and a split decision loss with the former champ of Poatan. This dude, even at 40 at the time, was competing at a high level. Now you give him this young gun. You give him the young gun, and listen, I said this in the Antiquarian. I'm usually like Leo DiCaprio. I like him young, right? 25 and below, coming off the Contender Series. Hey-yo, got the googly eyes for him. Not to mention Oberg is with City Kickboxing, which is a gym I have immense respect for. And I think he's really improved and his striking is really good. I just don't know if he can do it against Blachowicz. I usually don't pick the old guys. I'm on Jan. Not only am I Jan, he's in the slime ball parlay at plus 200. Oh. And not only that, he's the mini green hammer. Jan Blachowicz, by submission, is plus 1,600, which is wild. Because if he wins this fight, it's when the fight goes to the ground. Carlos Oberg isn't refined on the ground. Typically, guys who aren't refined on the ground, what are they going to do? They're going to give up their back. Jan Blachowicz can take a fucking neck, bro. 42 or not. Give me Jan Blachowicz. Give me in the slime ball parlay. And give me him by submission at plus 1,600. All those are being played. All those are being played. And you will be seeing the ticket being shared if I hit it, baby. I'm not a ticket sharer. It's typically not my nature. But we're sharing that ticket if we hit it this weekend, baby. Zuck, tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me something here, bro.
Maybe we're both either that smart or we're both that crazy because I'm taking my Polish brother here. Jan is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Of all time. Maybe it's because I'm Polish. Maybe because I've got family in Poland.
Okay.
That Polish power thing, I've always loved it. He's the nicest guy ever. If you ever watch those UFC embeddeds when he's going on hikes with those embedded guys, he's always the best.
He's
guy.
Always he wants to. Yeah, he seems like a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the best guy ever. I think what happened was he went to get one shoulder surgery, and he's at that age where he's like, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it all. You know?
Yeah.
And he lost that fight to Pierre. I watched that fight this morning, right before work, had to sneak it in. It was closer than I even remembered. It was so close. Obviously, he didn't do a ton of damage when he brought him down, but he was dominating that fight. And if we go back to that Adesanya fight, that city kickboxing defense, it didn't hold up then. I know Oberg is athletic. I know he's 33 years old. He beat Ozdemir. He got kicked in the leg a lot.
Yeah,
he got kicked in the leg a lot. Jan doesn't care if you're going shin to shin. He's going to throw that no matter what.
Chopped away in Pulyaev, yeah.
I'm 100% playing plus 3.5. I don't know what the line is there. I'm 100% playing that. I'm going to be with you on that sub line. Didn't know it was sitting that high. But I'm also going to play it straight. I've been thinking of it all week. I love Jan Blachowicz in this spot. I think that Oberg hasn't fought anyone to Jan's level, and I hope Jan comes back strong and maybe gets some rematch with Pierre. Or actually, no, I guess they're doing the Ankalaev fight. So I don't care. I hope Jan doesn't retire. I think if he loses this fight, he retires.
Yeah.
42, it's old, but for this light heavyweight division,
sure.
It's not that old.
No, the heavier you are, the more you can fight. I mean, 42 at heavyweights, like, that's a young kid. That's a young man. That's a prime guy. Yeah. That's in his prime. Yeah, I love the pick too. I've been on Jan the whole time. I'm loving that you're sticking with your Polish brother. I said 1,600. Trent saying 1,800. So 18-1 on your money for Jan Blachowicz by submission. Jan Blachowicz 3.5 is plus 100. Another plus money that I love. Late to the party, wife made me watch Southern Charm. Let's go, boys. Southern Charm, huh? Never heard of it, or excuse me, never seen it. I've heard of it, never seen it. Wife watches it though. Bro, what is that pronunciation? Which one did I mess up? Blachowicz? I've heard of Canadians pronounce. Yeah, Canadians pronounce it Blachowicz. I've heard them say it. I'm late. Let's go. Zuck, Browns flag. Let's go, Lazy Bed. One of the best commenters in here. We're both on Blachowicz here.
Joe Burrow more than the Browns. Let me just throw that in there.
Joe, hey, yo, the Bengals got their boys, though. The Bengals got, who do you think your quarterback's going to be at the start of the season? Is it Russ? Is it Russie?
It could be me. I could walk out there.
Right, it's true. That's true.
My dad just flew in today to visit, and he goes, some guy came up to me the other day wearing a Browns shirt, and he's like, we need a quarterback. And my dad said, we fucking need a quarterback for 35 years, man.
I know.
I love being a Browns fan. It's my favorite thing. It doesn't give me any angst during the fall. I'm not an angrier person on every Sunday of my entire life. It's totally fun. But Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. Listen, I have some Brown. Well, obviously, Cincinnati is very similar to Cleveland. We haven't been good for years. We had a little run with Carson, failed. Had a little run with Andy, never were going to make it. Now we got Joe. Now we got Chase. Now we got T signed up, right? We got a squad. We got to obviously work on defense. We got to fix that. But so it's exciting to be Bengals fans. The only problem now with being a Bengals fan with these guys is you expect them to win. So on Saturday, especially this past season when we were losing, things got broken in my house. I'm a little too fucking passionate about it. My kids they all know they're passionate about it as well. My wife was a huge Reds fan before we got together. Now she's converted. We're all Reds fans, but like not as hardcore as the Bengals. She would leave me for Joe Burrow just for Joe Burrow to say hi to her. Like that's he just always got to say his hi. She's gone. So it's exciting. But yeah, the Browns, you got Rusty in there. I don't think they're in the Rodgers bid. Be funny if they got A-Rod. Yeah. I thought you boys effed up when you let go Baker. I thought Baker was going to be your guy.
I can't watch the Bucs play. I can't do it. I have 2 Baker Mayfield jerseys. I can't buy jerseys.
Because they're gone. Yeah, it's tough.
They're gone. I have like Josh Cribbs, Peyton Hillis, Joe Hayden, Joe Thomas is the only one that's ever stayed.
Yo, but Peyton Hillis was just like that 1 year, and then he kind of fizzled. But that's a cool jersey to have right there. That's a cool jersey to have.
I mean, diehard Browns. I think that Deshaun trade, obviously the worst trade of all time, but I also love T. Higgins. He's won me in my fantasy league twice. So
yeah, I love that. T. Higgins just signed up. Aaron Kirkland says I missed it. Who did pick in the Jaw fight? Talking about the Jaw Herbert fight. I went Chris Padilla. Fairly confident, Aaron Kirkland. What do you think about that, bud? Tell me what you think. All right, main event time. You got Leon Edwards plus 124 versus Sean Brady minus 148. This line's moving. I think this is the most bet fight on the weekend. Listen, Leon Edwards, former champion. We all know that. He's going to come out to some really shitty English rap. Bop, beep, bop. That's how the English rappers rap. I'm going to doom bop, boom bop, bop. That's all they do. That's what you come out to. I don't dislike Leon Edwards, right? He went years with a little disrespect, was losing the Kamara fight, head kick, boom, headshot, whatever. Beat Kamara in the second time, very close fight. Dominated Colby Covington, who I fucking can't stand, and then lost the bully beat, right? And then now he's just making excuses after excuses of the bully beat. Oh, I had to wake up at 5, I had to walk out at 5 a.m. What's up to fucking Bilal? What are we talking about here, man? The excuses are rough. But if you watch the fight, it's a closer fight than I remember. I thought Bully dominated the whole thing. There was moments where Leon was absolutely in it. I picked this fight on the Anakin Florian, and I was very confident. I put $1,000 on Sean Brady. My whole bankroll on Sean Brady. And I'm doubling down. I'm doubling in. I'm digging in. Okay. I usually don't listen to podcasts until I do mine. I don't want to steal anybody's ideas. I know there's a lot of parallel thinking out there. But when I was at work today, I had to do some heavy manual labor in between my driving shifts. And so I popped in the headphones, started listening to Dogger Pass podcast. And I've made it very clear that I think Cody Safdie is possibly the GOAT. Very, very good at breakdowns. He's a very good gambler. I typically agree with a lot of what he says. Shag is great as well. And both boys were all over Leon. They couldn't get enough of Leon. And this is the first time I'm listening going, I don't know about that, Cody. I think Sean has what it takes to beat Leon. I think Leon has reached the mountain. He's defended the title. He's still a young man, home country, got a lot to fight for. But you sent a picture. It's been all over Twitter. Mike got a little staff on the arm, okay? So that might be a built-in excuse. And when the tough gets going, his corner yells at him. He was snapping at his corner in the Bilal fight. Sean Brady got dominated by Bilal. They didn't wrestle, right? The only fight Sean didn't land a takedown in the UFC. He got outboxed. Bully B's got some unique striking. It's awkward. Sean also got tired, but he went 5 rounds the last time out. His striking is getting better. He's getting more willingness to exchange, but you don't need to do that with Leon. Leon's very low volume, very good kicks. His kicks are powerful, but you take this guy down. It might not be easy. You might not be able to get him on the first one. You might not be able to get him on the second one. That third one, let's chain wrestle. You get him down, you're going to smother old boy, and you're going to look goddamn good doing it. I like Sean Brady here. He's in the slime ball parlay as well. I think he might be the first man to finish Bilal Muhammad by submission as well. Trent already pulled that up. Sean Brady to win by submission plus 350. I love that number. I can see why everyone's on Leon, former champion. Sean hasn't fought anybody besides, Gilbert Burns, a little bit older, lost to Bilal, and Leon's fought everybody. But Leon's been there, done that. And if he's not taking this Philly boy serious, this Philly boy go take him to the wall and show him what a hoe he is. You know what I mean? Give me Sean Brady. Give me submission. Give me slime ball. Give me 1K on the Anakin Flooring because goddamn it, I need to come back. Sean Brady's the call. What do you got, Zuck? What do you like?
I think it's pretty ironic that a guy from Philly is about to beat up a guy nicknamed Rocky that's actually from the UK in the UK.
Yeah.
Because I also got Sean Brady.
Woo!
I
He's
got
on
Sean Brady. I'm not gonna lie, I've been on the Leon train for the last 7 fights. I mean,
Nice.
I had him at Diaz. I had him by knockout against Kamaru Usman my senior year of college. Watched at the bar, gave everybody the pick, the whole fucking. I was
That's
champion of the world
nuts.
for an hour. It was the best moment I think I've ever had UFC betting, was giving everybody that pick, and it's smacking. I love Leon. I had him against Bilal. I know he's the Anakin Florian man, but I got to go Sean Brady here. I think he's going to sub him in round 3. I have it written down here. I've had it written down here all
I'm going to
week.
write that down.
Sub round 3. I like it a lot. I think that Leon's the only UFC champion I've ever watched to actually get depressed like midway through a fight. Like he looks sad. He doesn't look tired. He looks sad.
Yeah.
And then his corner's yelling at him. And he's like, shut up. He's like, this already happened once. It's not, don't try to make this happen again. Obviously, he landed that big elbow in round 5 against Bilal that won him that round. And then had his back for, I think, in round 3 that won him that round also. But he had Canelo Alvarez that could actually wrestle, running at him. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know? But I like Sean a lot here. I think he has the best grappling in the division overall. I think that Bilal might have a better way to mix it up from the hands to the feet to the takedown. But I think if you're going pure grappling, I mean, I know it was a boring fight, but he beat Craig Jones. I watched that whole thing. I'm going to give a little bit of respect to that. Yeah. And he's not going to force submission, but he's going to work to get there. And he's going to look for it. He has submissions no matter where he goes. Side control, top control, back. He can get anywhere. If he gets Leon's back, I think that Leon might get pushed back to that Kamaru Usman 1 fight, not 2 nor 3, but when he got that choke in round 1 or round 2 against Leon. I love Sean Brady here. I'm playing him by sub. Let's go. Come on.
Love it.
The real Rocky.
Love it. The real Rocky from Philly, PA. I love everything you said about that. I'm on Sean Brady as well. A lot of people I respect like Leon at that plus money. Someone's got to be right. All right, sign ball parlay before we get to the locks. So the green hammer is Morgan Charier, knockout plus 350. The baby green hammer is Jan Blachowicz by submission at plus 1,800, 1801 is gorgeous. And then sign ball parlay. We got Sean Brady. Okay, he's minus 148, not too bad. We got Morgan Charier minus 170. He's gonna give me a couple, and then we got Jan Blachowicz plus 200. That comes out to 853. Plus 853 on Sean Brady, Jan Blachowicz, Morgan Charier, and I feel good. We hit a 7-1 last week, trying to go 8-1, right? Maybe next week I'll do a 9-1. Who knows, right?
Hey,
let's just keep the money train moving. You keep the money moving. It's circular. All right, Mitchell, you have been fantastic. Mitch Zuck, love this dude. Let's get to the locks, babe. Okay, you're the guest, so you get to pick first. Do you want your mortal? Do you want your send 'em, or do you want your dog? This is what you get to pick.
I want my mortal.
Okay.
I want my mortal. And the line, what are we thinking? I have 2 here. I have a close line, and I have a mortal line that's mortal.
You listen, if you beat me, you get a t-shirt that says I beat Big Gun. So you get one that wins.
Parkin.
Mick
Mickey
Parkin.
Mouse. I know that He doesn't have a nickname, I don't think.
No, he doesn't.
No, Mickey Mouse Parkin. Give it to him.
Yeah,
Give it to
I
him.
don't mind. Yeah, Mick.
I love
John
Mick
said.
Parkin's Mortal Lock.
John said on the Anakin Forum, what did he say? Double parking or whatever? Double parking. By the way, chat, they says if I get excited, my mic goes crazy. This is the last time I'm using this program. We're going from fucking ground zero again. So the audio issue is driving me nuts. But thanks for sticking with me, chat. Mortal Lock, Mick Parkin. So my Mortal Lock. Oh, man, I really don't want to give out a T-shirt that says I beat Big Gun. So I got to play it smart here. Who do I love, man? It could go Sean Brady. I could put my money where my mouth is, but I want to kind of, people know that because they watch the Yannick Florian. They're like, oh, BP put all his money on that. He's in the slime ball. I'm going to go Jordan Vucenic as my Mortal Lock. And the rule is for Mortal Locks on this show, if they're over 300 and they lose, I get a negative point. So you just get an extra point if they win. But if it's over 300 and he loses, that's a negative point for me. So I'm risking a little bit. But I get it here. Let's go. I'll go dog lock. You know what? I'll let you go first every time because you're my guest. So you go dog or send him home, whatever one you want, bub.
Okay. Dog lock, Molly Meatball McCann. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Doggy.
I don't care if she's 11-1. I don't care if she's with Rosa. She's gonna dominate her. I love it.
I'm surprised and I'm actually shocked that you didn't pick your Polish brother, but because I'm going dog lock, Yanni boy. All right, send him home. You got to finish here. Who's finishing, bub? Doesn't matter which way they do it, but they're getting that person out of there.
Send him home early.
I got Vucenic by sub.
You can't pick him. I got him. I got it. Yeah, because even if you got him for anything else, he's off the table, babe.
Okay, then I got Brady by sub. That was my
Brady by
number 2.
sub. Nice. That's who I was going to take.
Sub.
So you stole my one. That's
Can I go
fine.
inside the distance? Can I go inside the distance?
Any finish. If they finish, you get the point. So if it's by cut, if it's by DQ, is by anything, bro, you get the distance. You get the send him home. All right, my send him home. My the person who is going to finish. I mean, I could go double it up because my green hammer is Morgan. But man, you know what? I love tacos. So I'm gonna go Chris Padilla here, man. I love me some tacos. All right. Chat, you're fucking amazing. What did Trent say here? Trent said, fuck, if there's a t-shirt, I might throw my name into the queue. Yeah. So I thought about this the other day because the Pardon My Take boys over in on Barstool, they used to give people, it says recurring guest or whatever. And I've thought about doing that, but I'm not Pardon My Take. So I'm thinking like guys that come on that I'm doing this year, you know, we've had people on past, but you know, Joe, I Am Saturday, now Mitch. I'm going to create a shirt. I haven't created it yet, but I'm going to create a shirt that says I beat Big Gun if you beat me. Joe is getting one in the mail. I've got to create it because he did beat me. So if you get, I'll hopefully get it done this weekend. I'll put him up there, but you get it. But thank you so much. Everyone give this guy a follow. This is great. We're going to do this again for sure. You're fantastic, bro. I loved your energy. I loved your picks. We'll do maybe a 3-headed monster next time where we're not having audio issues on my end because they keep saying I have a robot voice. What the fuck's going on?
Calm down.
I gotta calm down. You guys are the best. I appreciate you, chat. Mitchell, you're the best. Mitch Zucker, love you, bud. I'll see you.
Man.
Thanks, chat.